You came across this today, my friend, because you are ready for change. You're ready for stepping onto this next stage of your life. You've been preparing for this. You've been going through cycles. You've been going through healing. You've been repeating the tests and challenges and mistakes only to get to this point, my friend. You're not watching this by accident because you know you're ready. You're ready for this new beginning. You know that your life changes the moment you decide it's already changed. When you act as if your dream is real today, you can only watch the world catch up. Yeah, you recognize that it's time for you to embody that new version of you that lives in gratitude, that lives in appreciation, that lives in discipline, that lives in clear focus, that's not distracted by the nonsense and devices or noises of the world, but rather guided by the inner whisper of the soul. Is that you, my friend? Because, well, today I'm playing to you painting the Phoenix Volume 2. This is the second painting I've created of the Phoenix, but this one is about chakras, about energy centers, that reminds people to align their energy, center yourself, take your energy back, and invest it into what matters to you, your path. Because the turning point in your life isn't in the future, it's now, it's right here. And when you take your energy back into this moment, you can decide, okay, this is what I will focus on. The moment you choose to see yourself as the person you want to be, everything around you begins to adjust. Yeah, that's when you start meeting people that just feel like a miracle. You start meeting opportunities that just feel like unbelievable things, and you start breaking through. You can't hold on to the old you and justify why you should feel the way you feel. You must change. And change in this sense means that you focus on what you want to see in your life. You focus on what you want to create in your life. And you find inside of you this sense of inspiration as it's already real. This is just something you need to tap into. And if you make it a daily practice, it will become a habit. You will become good at feeling greater. Because the world follows your lead. More you train yourself to feel as the new you, more your life will change. The world follows your lead, not the other way around. If you wait for external validation before changing, you will wait forever. But if you act as if your dream is already your reality, the evidence will soon appear. Because it's a law. If you're focusing on something long enough, you will see proofs of it. So whatever you choose to focus on, you will see proofs of it. You can focus on why your life is bad, or why you are broke, or why you should stay there, and you will find many proofs of that. If you focus on why you're successful, why you're grateful, why you can grow, why you can learn, and why you're confident, you will start to see proofs of that. It's just a change in the way how we focus. You see, your reality reflects your inner state. The sooner you embody the version of yourself who has what you want, it comes. The faster it manifests. Yeah. It's not just thinking. It's also feeling and moving towards it. Everything you experience is a direct reflection of what you assume to be true, what you believe to be true. If you see yourself as someone struggling, life will continue to present struggles. But you're ready now for great relationships. You're ready now for more abundance. You're ready now for incredible health, for aliveness. You're ready now for radiant energy. And you feel that. That's why you're done with repeating the old. And you're now taking action with the new. You're now finishing what you've started. and taking everything to the next level. If you believe you're successful, opportunities will align in ways you never expected. So shift, my friend, your internal self-image. The way you see yourself and reality must conform, because too many people hold on to the vision of what happened to them instead of forgiving to themselves that they've allowed themselves to be limited by something so insignificant. Yeah, what happened to you is valid and it's real, but it doesn't define who you really are. So why wouldn't you expand your mind a little bit more and see what else is possible, and see what were the things that you've been thinking about for so long you would like to do, but you never organized yourself just because you're afraid to fail, just because in the past it didn't work out, just because you had no right knowledge or skills, just because you never chosen to learn it, just because you believed it's not possible for you. So the core belief it's not possible is outdated, and now throw it into a trash can because you don't need it anymore. You see, every time you see people succeeding, you see possibility that it's possible for you as well, because they're not different. They're all you, kind of stretched out. All is one, my friend, which means you are already everything. So when you see abundant people, when you see healthy people, when you see talented people, you can do it too. Not what they are doing. You will find a unique way for you. And I know today is the time for you to feel that, because finally, you resonate with the complete understanding of what it means. It means that you've always been made for this. You've been made for this. Everything you experience is a reflection of what you believe about yourself. When you change your beliefs, your world has no choice but to change too. Your circumstances are not separate from you. They are created by your subconscious beliefs. If you think you're unlucky, unlucky events will appear. If you assume you're worthy of abundance, it will find its way to you. The world cannot contradict what you deeply believe about yourself. And that is so true. Just a few days ago, I was talking with a person who found herself at a miserable job, and she decided, okay, I actually want to work in this company. And she wrote it down. She found out, oh, they're not looking for new workers. So she wrote a very precise email, what she can offer. She was very precise and articulated. And guess what? She got a job a few days later. It's when you believe that it's possible for you, not when you wish something should happen. It's when you firmly believe. That's why when you just wish something to happen, will never happen just because it's not really your desire. Your desire must come from your talents, from your heart, from your inner world that already knows what's best for you. That's why you should be careful what you allow to influence your mind, because it may also poison you with ideas that has nothing to do with your path. And you must recognize that the past doesn't define you unless you let it. When you rewrite the story in your mind, your future will reshape itself to match. And that's why today you feel like you're ready to move on. You're ready for everything you've been praying for. Yeah, you don't need to wait anymore. Your past only has power over you if you keep identifying with it. So just think about it. How many times you feel addicted to a certain state of being just because it reminds you of who you are, and then you look for reasons to justify this state because it's familiar. And you're also scared what would happen if you would not have this fear anymore. because you know it protects you from potential danger, but it also protects you from breakthroughs, but you don't know that. So the only way to find it out is to stop justifying why you should feel the way you feel, but actually start finding reasons why you should be grateful and start shifting your state. You see, when you close your eyes and focus on nothing, you recognize that you become nothing eventually. When you become nothing, you also recognize you can become everything, but you become what's the most familiar to you. That's why when you wake up in the morning, you start thinking about your past and you start feeling how you most of the time feel, and that's familiar. And you live your life from that familiar state. If you've experienced failure, you don't have to carry that identity forward, my friend. Instead, revise your story. Imagine a version where you always succeed, where you always get what you want. When your mind accepts this new narrative, your reality will shift accordingly. And there's one practice I'm often using when it comes to limiting beliefs. I firstly think about a certain event that made me believe this is true. And I see, in my mind's eye, how big is the picture of it or the movie of it. Sometimes it's the picture, sometimes it actually moves. And then I just make it smaller in my mind's eye. I make it smaller to such a degree that eventually it disappears. And then I call up a new picture or a new movie, whatever you prefer, of an event I would love to experience. And I make it bigger. And I make it bigger until it becomes everything I can see in my mind's eye. And then I feel it. And I project myself into that screen, into that picture, into that movie. And I sense it through all my senses, and then I intensify my senses of hearing, of tasting, of touching for 50%. And when I feel it, I intensify it again for 50%. And then I just enjoy that new state, and I stay there for 10 or 15 minutes. And when the next time limiting belief comes up, I do it again. And the next time I do it again. And eventually, the old limiting belief slowly disappears. You see, your mind just needs some kind of practical tools that will reshape the story or rewrite the story. And it's much easier than it feels many times. Nothing is stopping you except this story you keep telling to yourself. That's why this practice is so powerful. So start telling to yourself a new story today. From today on, you're not this old version of you anymore, and you know that. I know you know that. So stop repeating the words of your old you and stop feeling the way you used to feel, because it doesn't serve you anymore. One part is to let go. The second part is feel the new you. You will notice that everything reflects your emotions. Your body will reflect it in a body posture, in a facial expression, in the way you use your hands and the way you walk. Everything reflects your emotions. So when you choose to feel something new, you will see your whole body will reflect that. So don't hold down like the old you. That's gone. Say, thank you, my old version. Thank you, the old version of myself. I'm grateful because you brought me to where I am today. You taught me the lessons. You gave me strength. You gave me wisdom. But now let's level up through an open heart. It's not that you're leaving that version behind. It's that you're transcending it into love. You're not leaving anything behind, actually. You just shift it into a higher frequency. The only thing keeping you stuck is the version of yourself you keep repeating in your mind. If you constantly reaffirming limitations, I'm not good enough, things never work out for me, you're programming yourself for failure. Yeah, and that's why you feel today that you're done. Choose a different script, like I said. Start telling the story of your success, your confidence, and your power, and watch it unfold, because it will. Many times when I'm coaching people, when they come back, I hear them using the same languages in the past, and I say, you're doing it again. You're doing it again. It's not something you do once. It's something you need to be aware all day long and stop repeating the past. You don't need to be perfectionist, but just be aware how one simple language leads you into a whole downward spiral. You start saying to yourself, I can't, and then you feel like you can't, and then you don't feel productive anymore, and you fall down into destructive habits, and then you feel guilt and anger and frustration, and then you think there's something wrong with you. No, it started with a language. It started with words you've been using towards yourself, and when it's hard and you stop saying something you used to say, you start looking for what should actually be done. And it will feel unfamiliar, and because it's unfamiliar, it doesn't mean it's not meant for you. It just means you haven't developed the pattern yet that would be familiar with that new behavior, with that new endeavor, with that new job, with that new craft, whatever it is. But if your heart calls you for it, let's go. Let's go. Because what you focus on grows. Imagine your life as you want it to be, not as it is, because your reality reflects your past right now, not your future. Your attention is the most powerful creative tool you have. If you focus on problems, they expand. If you focus on possibilities, they multiply. So direct your imagination toward the outcome you desire, and the path will reveal itself. How so? Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Well, when you imagine something you truly want to experience, then you start looking for options, and book appears, and the right video finds you, and you go out into the world, and suddenly there's a possibility, there's an opportunity, there's a job offer, there's a person that gives you something, there's an inspirational hit that finds you, that just pulls you into the right direction, and then you take action and you build discipline around it, and you focus onto it to such a degree that you stay devoted to that path until it happens. And once it happens, you recognize it's real. Your reality will always reflect back to you what you hold inside to be true, and you know that. So now you know your thoughts create your world. If you want something different, start thinking differently right now, and it starts today. All these energy shifts that are happening right now are supporting this transition. I told you, we're in this eclipse season, and eclipses don't take things from you. They just remove what's not supportive anymore. So see what stays, see what remains, and boldly step into the future in confidence. And no, the facts don't matter usually. Your assumptions, your inner vision creates new facts. So when you look for the best, reality will soon start reflecting back to you. And I'm a proof of that. So many people are a proof of that. Like, I've started saying to myself, I'm a successful artist way before I was a successful artist. My work started selling after I started believing that my paintings will be selling all around the world. So what you see as facts today were created by past assumptions. If you assume life is difficult, it will be. If you believe life is easy and full of opportunity, new evidence will emerge. Your assumption dictates the facts that appear in your world, so choose them wisely. That's why people say that we live in a simulation that reflects your inner story. And so many times we just need to catch ourselves and recognize, have we fallen back into an old narrative? Have we fallen back into some old stories from people who live miserable lives? You don't deserve that. You deserve so much more. So know that It's your inner world that you need to take care of. And it starts right now. And you need to be aware of it in the present moment. If you're not feeling well, okay, let's see what you can do about it. We all sometimes feel bad. We all sometimes feel negative emotions. But then recognize what in the past helped you to shift into a more positive state. What puts you back into the flow? What puts you back into focus? What puts you back into discipline? And try to shorten the time of spending in negative emotions, so we can shift back into alignment and positive emotions. To me, it's meditation, it's painting, it's doing what I love doing and having purpose. Having purpose is what puts me always. I can be in the most miserable state. I will go into meditation, I will focus on nothingness so I can recalibrate my body, my biology. I can feel centered, and then I will set some goals for my mind, and I will start following them, and goals will be fed by purpose. I know why I want to do this, and then I start doing it. Like I go painting, I go making videos, I go and I do whatever I need to do, and suddenly I'm back in the good state, in the state that reflects my higher self. And my job is to stay in this state as long as I can, because it is a training. If you've been hypnotized to be in a miserable state, now let's rewrite yourself to be in more positive state. It's not just thinking, and it's not just meditating. It's how you live. It's a lifestyle. And I've just noticed in my life, more I'm living in gratitude, more I'm living in the present moment, more I'm living in the flow, more I'm living in acceptance, and just having this strong belief that life takes care of me. More things are happening in my favor, and doors are opening, and abundance is coming, and great things are happening. That's why I'm telling to you, you are ready from now on. Expect great relationships, expect great health, expect great creativity, expect incredible ideas, expect being disciplined, expect being the best version of yourself you can be, because you are made for this. Yes, you are made for this. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting, my friends, that it can remind you of centering yourself. If you would like to get a print of it, go into AttractPassion.com and type in The Phoenix Volume 2, or just The Phoenix, and you will find it. It will help you support your transformation, and every time you will look at it, it will remind you to center yourself, center your chakras, focus back on yourself, and see what matters the most to you, so you can move into the right direction and build a life you can be grateful for, you can be proud of, and you can be happy and excited about. So thank you so much for your support. By buying my art, you're also supporting this mission. You can find all of my paintings on AttractPassion.com. Check out which one resonates with you the most, because if it speaks to you, it has the energy to give you. So check it out. And also big thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community. Yesterday I've just posted a new guided meditation. So check it out, and till next time, one love.